Everybody, it is guest expert workshop day around here, and I am super happy to have Dottie Scott with us. She's going to talk about Google, which when we met and we were talking about this topic, I'm like, ooh, because we talked about a couple of different topics. I'm like, this topic is going to be so good. And I've been looking forward to it ever since. So, you guys, Dottie Scott is your no fluff tech taming hang on a minute because people are
I let
there's
Jane
Jane
in.
in. Okay, thank you. Right in the middle of my bio. Okay, I'm going to start over. Dottie Scott is your no fluff, tech taming, visibility boosting secret weapon. How's that for a first line of a bio? Founder of Premium Websites Incorporated and Ask Dottie. She's helped solopreneurs stop hiding online and start owning the digital spotlight. With 20 years in the game, a best selling book, and awards up the wazoo, Dottie keeps it real, picks up the phone, and makes marketing feel way less like a root canal. Favorite bio of the week, Dottie. I'm going to turn it over to you and let you teach us something about this. Thank you for being
Perfect.
here.
And I want to run this as a casual, you need to get what you need to get out of it workshop. So if you have a question on something that I say, please raise your hand and ask at that time instead of waiting, because if you wait, it may be completely out of my mind what I said. So there you go. So I wanted to bring forth and talk about Google My Business as being an essential piece of your online presence. And I know a lot of people resist getting a Google My Business account because it asks for your address. So I'll just deal with that big elephant in the room first. Google My Business. Let me rephrase that. Google Business Profiles, they changed the name and I keep thinking back to the old name, um, is for Google Maps. So although, yes, you can get a profile without putting in your address, they call you a service area business, and it would just list your city and state. You won't show up very high because it's for a map, and maps function via an address. So I challenge you to ask yourself this question, and you can get the question by actually Googling it. Google your address and see if you're already online with your address. If you are, just get over it, because there's nothing you can do. You're already indexed with your name and address. If you're not, and it matters to you, list yourself as a service area business. Just be aware you will not get the results that I get and that I'm sharing with you today. So that's the caveat on that. Um, the reason, there's many reasons, but the biggest reason that you want to be in the Google Business Profile listing is because it is a completely separate database than what you know of as the organic listings in Google. And I'm just going to share my screen. Um, I brought this up today. It can be different any day that I check it, but I just Googled my main keyword, which is website designer in my city and state, which is Vancouver, Washington. You can see Google Maps shows up. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. At the top. There's nothing above it. Sometimes there's a sponsored ad above it. Sometimes there's the new Google AI generated clip above it. But in this instance, Maps is the first thing. And you'll see I'm number one in Maps. And I'll tell you how I do that in a minute. This down here is the organic listings. And I'm currently today number 3. Sometimes I'm number 1, sometimes I'm on page 2. Sometimes I do things because I experiment with all kinds of SEO stuff. Sometimes I'm on page 10, just being honest here. Um, I did something that I thought was innocuous. I changed my business name from Premium Websites LLC to Premium Websites Inc. about 3 years ago now. Uh, in my mind, and I'm sure in your minds, it's the same business. It's just a minor little business name change. So I wasn't thinking that it was a big deal. So I went and I changed everything on my website from LLC to Inc. And then I thought, I'll get to the rest later. The rest being all the other places online that I show up with an LLC. Well, I forgot that Google is a computer, not a person, and it doesn't think logically. It put me as 2 separate businesses. And my website, which always enjoyed first page rankings, went to page 10. And I was like, what the heck happened? And by the time I figured it out, which was a few months after it happened, it took me almost a year to get back to page 1. Okay, so that is a big deal. If I was not number 1 in maps, my phone still rang. I didn't even, for 2 months, I didn't even notice because I wasn't looking that I had dropped off the first page because I was still getting the same volume of phone calls. That is the value of being listed in maps. And also, maps shows up first in all mobile searches. If you think about the last time you did a mobile search, the very first thing you see is maps. And you see 1 or 2 people, sometimes 3, before you get that see more button. And how many of you click the see more button? That would be a big fat 0. So you want to be in maps in position 1 or 2. Now, most of us have about an 80% searches done on mobile and 20% on desktop. My industry, I've watched this for years and years and years, has always been flopped. It's been 80% on desktop, 20% on mobile. I checked yesterday and I'm almost 50-50. I think I was 57 and 43, something like that. Still, desktop is a little bit higher. And I put that towards the fact that because I'm a B2B business, most people are at work searching for me on a company desktop as opposed to their personal mobile phones. But I think that's also changing because I also serve solopreneurs who, even if they're at work, they're still using their phone. So 1 and 2, that's what you got to think, 1 or 2, position in Google Maps. So now, how do you do that? I'm telling you, it's magic, complete magic. Let me share my screen again. Okay. So the first thing I want to point out in my profile versus the next 2, and these, I'll be honest, they switch all over the place, is I have 69 reviews. They have 31 and 35. If we click into more, it's probably going, oh, I don't count sponsored. Sponsored means paid, if you didn't know that. Um, Here's interesting, 73. They should be ranked higher than me, and they're obviously not. And people are catching on. Usually these are around 20, 22, 28, 15, 2. This is what I normally see. I haven't done this talk in a while. People are catching on and they're getting reviews, as you can see here. This is a big indicator of the top spaces. So Google actually says when you open your account, they'll send you emails to help you get started. One of the emails says something, and I'm sure it's way more politically correct than this. I don't remember the exact words, but it basically says, until you get 10 reviews, you're not going to be considered a legitimate business. And it's like, here's how you get reviews, and it's trying to help you to get those. So if you're under 10, assuming you have an account and you're under 10, get at least 10 reviews because they don't consider you valid until then, if you want to look at it that way. And then after that, look at your competition. Whoever has the highest number is the number you want, and you want to exceed that number. So whatever that number is for you. For me, it was roughly 20 to 30. Most of my people had 20 to 30 that were my competition, and I just always stayed ahead of them. So reviews is big. The other things I want to point out, let me go back to this, is here, let me, interesting. It's not letting me go where I want to go, so just a moment. If for some reason you can't edit your account here, which is what I was trying to do, you can do it by going to the 9 little dots, the Google Apps, and go to Business Profile Manager. And we'll just ignore all these other people here and click in that way. So that we see this information right here. When you go into edit your profile, most people, and I think the reason for this is because when you sign up, they ask for your business name, your phone number, your email address, and your physical address. And they don't ask for anything else. And so people don't go back and do it. That's logically what I think. But you want to make sure that you come in here and you can choose as many categories as you fit into within the categories that they offer. You can't like make up your own, which you used to be able to do, but you can't do that anymore. So you get to choose a primary, which website designer for me is primary, but I am also a marketing agency. I do web hosting. I can be a consultant. I offer other things. So if you do the same, choose as many as applies to your business because when people are searching, you don't know how they're searching. They could be searching for a web designer, a website designer, a web developer, a website developer, a web builder, which is becoming a big search for me. And in my mind, a web builder is Wix or GoDaddy or WordPress or some place that you're going to build your website on, software. But it now applies to me. Who knew? I knew by looking at the analytics, but anyway, so choose the categories that apply to you. Please don't say business name, whatever your business name is. I offer a list and that's it. You get, I think, 750 characters. Use them. Use them all. And use AI. Use ChatGPT or Claude or whatever one that you're used to using and get a description that is keyword friendly for your business. Okay. and you've got 750, use it. This is all just basic stuff. Social profiles, use them. They will connect and show on your profile. Use them. Here's the address stuff. Service area. Use this. Put in your local area, the little cities around you. I put in my county as well. And I'm right across the river from Portland, Oregon. So I list Portland, Oregon as well, even though I live in Washington. It's a 5-minute drive to get into Oregon from here. So use this to your advantage. And I don't think there's a limit. But keep in mind, this is for local search. So don't go putting the entire United States, which you could do. They do allow you to do that. It won't help you. In fact, it will hinder you because now you're being mixed in with people that do what you do all over the place. You want to focus in on your local area. Business hours, they will put in there, if you're open, it'll say open. If it's closed, it'll say closed and opens again at whatever time. So this is actually kind of an important thing to have your business hours there. Days that you take off, put them in there. And the special hours I would say 4 times. So every quarter, Google sends me an email and it says, hey, are you open on these upcoming holidays? I just click the email, answer it, and then it puts it on my profile for me. The more from the business, this is a really interesting section. And I hope I don't offend anybody here, but never answer no. If there's something in here that doesn't apply to you, just leave it alone. If you can answer yes, then answer yes. Because what this section does, when someone is searching, it adds filters for them. So if they want to work with a woman-owned business, they can filter that and only get the results that actually say woman-owned. So each one of these categories we go in. And I put identify as woman-owned and is a small business. The rest of these, although it's true that I'm not any of those, I don't want negative filters. For example, even though I'm not in the LGBTQ community, I still want to serve that community. If I put no here, then anybody searching that is in that community is likely to not click on my profile. Okay, that's just one example. And go through every single one of these because there's different information and they're all different filters that people can use when they're searching. This is a big one, the crowd. Here I say yes, even though I could have said no up there. I don't want that filter, but I do want this filter. Okay. If any of the rest of this stuff applies to you, can see each one of these has different stuff. Planning, this appointment required. This came out during COVID. Prior to that, this was never here. This actually gets put on my profile. So people, even though I list my address, people don't randomly drop by. I work from my home. They can see an appointment is required. I've never had anybody randomly drop by my house expecting to talk to me as a website designer. So go through all of these on there. If you have anybody that you work with closely that speaks different languages, please mark them because somebody might be searching for a Spanish speaking website designer, and that would be a filter that they would have. So if I clicked yes under Spanish, they would expect to be able to talk to somebody in Spanish. Okay, so again, I don't click no. but I only click yes on the ones that are relevant to me. So that's the big thing, business information. Make sure that's complete. The more complete it is, literally, the higher you will be in the listings. Another super important one that most people miss is services. Now, if you're a product provider, you can add products as well. I don't really have physical products that I mail, so I have this as blank on mine. But my services, you can put anything you want in here. Literally, anything you want. You don't have to stick to what they say you can do, like on the categories. The thing to watch out for is I come in here about once a month because Google, in all of its infinite wisdom, is always trying to be helpful, and it adds all kinds of stuff in here that I don't do. And I think it's because on my website, I build websites for, lawn care people, roofers, massage therapists, you name it. I've probably built a website for it, and I have on my website a portfolio page that has all of these things to look at. And so Google picks that up, and occasionally they'll put in here that I mow lawns. I don't. So I have to continuously come in here and clean it up. If you find that you're having the same issue, look at your website and make sure that there's not something on there that might be cueing Google to think that you do something that you don't. I would assume it's going to be way closer to what you do than mowing lawns or putting roofs on is for me. But they're getting the information from something that's on your website. Um, the other thing about this is it will also suggest relevant things. Like when I first started, I put in my website packages, whatever I called them at that point. I put those in with the names, which, duh, the names are irrelevant. People aren't searching for that. They're searching for a basic 5-page website, which I have a name for that package, but you'll see here it's now basic 5-page website. Because these in here are all search terms. Um, Author websites. This is something that Google suggested that I add, so I did. Accounting websites. Initially, I just had websites. I thought, oh, that's good enough. But when it started recommending all of these different types of websites, it's recommending that based on searches that people are doing. So if you go in there and you're a massage therapist and all you have in there is massage, and then it's saying, well, maybe Thai massage is a good one. Maybe intramuscular whatever is a good term. Those are search terms that people are actually using. So if they apply, then you just click yes, and it adds it to your list. And then you can go in and you can actually fill out you have 300 characters to fill out whatever that service is. So this is why I've got this long list of things, because like redesign, I would have never in a million years thought that redesign would be something I need to list in here. However, since it's a search term, Google's telling me it needs to be in here, I put it in there. So this is the services area. And to my knowledge, there's no limit to how many you can have. And I would just start with what you think. And then weekly, at least in the beginning, come in here and see if Google has recommended any that you should add. Okay. So that's that piece. Another piece that is super important that people seem to overlook are the photos. In the beginning, you'll probably put in your cover image and your logo because that's all they ask for. You can put anything relevant in here. If you do have a brick and mortar, put what your business looks like from the outside so people will recognize it. If they walk in, you have an office and they walk in and they actually do business at your office, put pictures of the inside of your office, pictures of your employees if you have employees. If you're like me and you're a solopreneur and you really don't have any of that kind of stuff, I have put screenshots of awards. These particular ones are screenshots of different classes that I've taken that give you a little certificate, screenshots of different reviews that I get, screenshots of actual websites that I've done, the posts that I put up in social media go here. Like, why not? It's branded to you. It's something you created for your business. You know, anything that you're creating for your business can go here. So you want to use that. Back out of this one. And the other one that people forget or don't know about is this add update. Before I go through this, where this shows up is at the bottom of your profile right here. Okay, now some of this I have automated. Like this right here is a review that came in Thursday or Friday. I use Go High Level and I have a Go High Level automation that says when I get a Google review, take it, put it on this background that I have set up for it, and then repost it as an image. So you can automate some of this stuff. But back up here on the updates, you can add if you're doing an offer, if you have a special for the summer, Black Friday specials, a special of the month, whatever it is that your business does, you can create an offer. And the good thing about this is you put it's date-based and it'll come down automatically when the offer expires based on whatever date you put in there. Same thing for events. So Laura, you could have posted this event out there, assuming it's public. Any events that you have that are public can be posted on here. And again, it's attached to a date. And when that date is over, it automatically comes down. So you don't have to remember to come back and take your old events out. This is the one that I use most of the time. And what I do is I repost part of my blog post here. So I already created an image for my blog post, so I put the image right here. My description is maybe the first paragraph or two. You got 1,500 characters of whatever the blog post is. Or you can go to ChatGPT and you can say, here's the link to my blog post. Give me a Google a description for a Google update. Or you could say a description for posting it in LinkedIn or Facebook, because you should be doing that with your blog posts anyway. Use that description here. And then you can add a button, and the button is going to go, I usually use learn more when it's a blog post. And it goes directly to the blog post. It doesn't go to your homepage. It doesn't go to your contact page. It goes directly to whatever you're posting. That way they can click through and see the whole post, and you're giving Google a link to your post. That is like a huge advantage over people that aren't doing this. If you go ahead and tell Google, here's a link to a post on my website, that link may not be indexed yet if it's a post you just did. This gets it indexed. Does it matter if it's older blogs? No, as long as the information is relevant. Now, here's another big thing. And this happened a year ago in March. Google made the announcement. And again, I'm sure it was way more politically correct than what I'm going to tell you right here. But essentially, it means if you're not active on your Google business profile, they will consider your business inactive, which means you'll never get that top spot because Google does not want to refer an inactive business. So to avoid that, you have to log into your Google account at least once a month and do something. If you're getting a review once a month, that qualifies. If you log in and you look at your services and you accept the ones that are relevant to you and you fill those out, that qualifies. If you add a photo, it qualifies. If you do anything on your profile, log in and do something, it qualifies. This is one reason why I have my CRM automatically putting information into my Google profile. So whenever I do a blog post, it automatically takes the featured image and a link to the post and puts it over there under an update. If I get a review, it's automatically putting it in because sometimes I don't log in once a month and I don't want to be inactive. But if you put it on your calendar to log in the first of the month, the end of the month, the 15th of the month, whatever, and you spend 5 minutes doing something, you will never fall into the inactive category. Okay, so a combination of all of these things is what keeps my business number one in Google Maps for my local area. What questions do you have? Because I know you guys have questions.
So, Dottie, this is awesome. I'm like scribbling notes like a mad woman. And I have a lot of to-dos on my own listing. So
Don't feel bad. Everybody does.
yeah, so my business is virtual. I don't have a brick and mortar, but obviously so is yours. And so this is important to be on maps either way.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can be doing all of these things for local search keywords, local cities, all the things. Um, is that bringing you global business also, or are all your phone calls local? Just curious.
Most of my phone calls, at least from Maps, are local.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
that doesn't mean that I don't show up because if somebody in Florida, because I'm in a big networking group that a lot of people are in Florida, if they actually Googled website designer in Vancouver, Washington, I would probably show up, even though they're in Florida. Now, if they just put website designer near me, no way would I ever show up.
Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 I was trying to sort this out for like how I'll take advantage of it. I mean, who cares how you're getting contact or where the people are you're getting contacted by, right? Clients are
Right.
clients. So yeah. 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 I'm excited to do a few of these things and see what happens. I'm also an avid blogger and I haven't been doing anything with the blog, which is like, so I have work to do there.
So if you're an avid blogger, once you post your blog, you need to also post it to social media, whatever ones that you're active in. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah, that technique I do. I just had no idea about the Google thing and
Yeah.
updating and
Do you
all the
link it back
things.
to your blog post when you do that?
The social.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or are you putting your whole post in social?
No, it's mostly, hey, it's a post that links or that says read more, but I haven't been putting the blog link in the post. I've been putting it in the comments just to
Oh, that's fine. As long as
yeah.
it's there somewhere, that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, do an overview. And if you haven't started using ChatGPT yet, please do. It's what I do with my blog posts is as soon as I publish it so that I actually have a link, I go to chat I put the link into chat and I say, give me an overview of this for social media. And if it's going to be for LinkedIn, I'll say for LinkedIn, or Facebook or whatever. And it gives me a great little overview. That's what I post. And then I link to the post so that I'm not, I want them to have a reason to go because I want that traffic.
Yep. Do you gals have any questions? I can keep asking questions all day long on this one. What questions do you have? Any? Carol, go for it.
I'm not certain this is just a Google question, but I have been inundated with phone calls saying that my business is not Google verified. And it's from companies who want me to pay for their services to keep that up.
Yeah.
Doing these things that you're talking about, will that make my business verified?
So that, yes and no. It won't stop the phone calls because those people don't even look at your profile. I get the same phone calls. They're just, you're on a list, they call the list. In fact, I have phone calls of people calling me saying that I don't have a website. I'm like, really? I'm a website designer. And those people I mess with when they call.
I ask a few questions and then lay my phone down, so I'm not even really listening to them. But I figure if I've got time, I'm keeping them from bothering someone else.
I do it for my own personal entertainment.
Oh,
But anyway, you're by doing these things, you will keep your website or your Google business listing verified as far as Google considering you a valid business. It won't stop those calls. They're just spam.
yes.
Anyone else?
I just want to say thank you so much because I have had a Google listing for I don't know how many years, but I've never done really anything with it. I still see it. I still occasionally, get an update as to how many people have looked at my listing, how many had taken a look at my address, but there's never been any interaction whatsoever.
Yeah.
So this stuff is really good. Thank you,
You
Dottie.
guys, first homework, go calendar 30 to 45 minutes somewhere soon and do this. Go
Yeah.
through her list, listen to the replay. You guys will have the replay if you need to listen to it again and to go through the buttons. It'll give it a huge boost. I can't wait to go back and do it again now with some extra of these tips.
And if you want this somewhat like written out, let me put a link in the chat.
Oh, yay. Thank you.
You can go to this page and there's a form you fill out, but it sends you a PDF and it'll send you, I think I have it set up for once a week. It will send you an email. It'll say, hey, have you added a photo this week? Or hey, do you have an event you want to add? Or, I want to say there's about 7 different emails in there that you'll get like once a week and just as a tickle to get it done.
That's great. We can do it, beef it up over time too. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So back to reviews for a minute. Get your first 10 and then look at the competition and beat them.
Yes.
And so, okay, so I had that right. So I'm going to go out to, my favorite 10 clients, gals, and I'm going to ask, and I'm going to get my first 10. I highly suggest you do the same thing. This is a big deal.
Let me show you something, Laura,
yeah,
that'll
go
make it
for it.
even easier. I forgot to mention this. Okay, so yes, discard. When you're logged into your profile, you'll see this thing that says read reviews. If you click that, up at the top, it says get more reviews. And this will give you a link or a QR code, whatever one you want to use. And if you give your person that you want to give the review that link, then what it does is it goes right to where they need to leave your review.
Yeah, that's
It just
brilliant.
pops right up. And it just makes it
Brilliant.
easier.
Yes, make it easy for them. that is the one of the biggest things about it. Make it that's perfect. Thank you for that.
Is there anybody here who's not using a CRM of some one flavor or another? You're not? Okay.
I don't know what CRM means.
Client relationship management.
Then I'm not using that.
Yeah, the free ones out there are like MailChimp. Then you've got kind of some medium ones like Active Campaign and Zoho and those types of ones. I use Go High Level. Like at the high end, you've got Keep, which I would never recommend to anybody. So what these systems do is, at least some of them, they allow you to have well, Go High Level calls it an opportunity pipeline. And so don't feel bad if you've never heard this. I just started using it this year. I'm like, this is like gold for me. Even though it's been there for 20 years, I just started using it this year. So I created different steps, and I'm sure you have different phases. So Laura, for you, it could be, here's an introduction call to see if you would be a good fit for my publishing platform. Okay. Then they accept that. So you have a section for the introduction call. You've got the next section is yes or no. They took it, they didn't. Then the next section, Laura, for you might be here's everything that you need to get together to start writing your book. Okay, and so then you've got the in process section, and you might have several of those depending on how your process works. And then at the very end, you would have the book is published. Okay, so that would be your ending step. So for me, my ending step is the website is launched. As soon as I drag a client into website is launched, they're now automatically kicked an automation I have set up that asks for review. Because even though I know how important it is, I wouldn't do it on a regular basis. I'd be like twice a year, I'd look at, okay, who haven't I asked? And I'd be manually sending all this stuff out. So now I just have an automation that has everything in the email pre-set up. I offer, I think, 4 different places online they can leave a review. And the last one says, if you don't want to leave a review online, but you would like me to put a review on my website, just reply to this email with the review. Okay. And now it's automatically kicked out. I don't have to think about it anymore. And that's that's the value of a CRM, is keeping you more automated in the little minutia pieces of your business that always just kind of gets put on the back burner.
And most of you guys have an email list, which is really kind of a basic way of saying CRM. You've got an email server, meaning MailChimp, Constant Contact.
Something like that.
Yeah. Because if you have a website with an email capture, then you've got a basic form. But when your company grows and you do more things than emails, sometimes you go to something like Go High Level. I have Entreport. It's a big, ugly, hairy system that can do lots and lots of things.
Does it do pipelines for you?
It does everything.
Yeah.
It does all the things. But even setting a reminder or setting something as a system to remind you to ask for these reviews and testimonials is key, especially if you're not using a CRM in the ways that Dottie's talking about in terms of automation. But it is a game changer if you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
It's a game changer, and you'll get reviews automatically and you'll be building them automatically, which is pretty badass, you know. Dottie, how do people work with you? Tell us about your services and anything else you want to tell us.
So the main thing I do is I build websites mostly in WordPress. I offer WordPress hosting. But something I offer that you ladies might be interested in, I'm assuming you all have websites and you're happy with whatever they're doing for you. I have a membership called Ask Dotty, and that is for solopreneurs that either want to or have to do it all themselves, and they get tripped up with technology. So we meet once a week. It's Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific, for just ask whatever question you want. Open office hours, we'll call it. I call it creative time. And some of my members will come in, they'll say, I'm working on this. Take a look at this web page. What would you do different? I get tons of Canva questions, tons of search engine optimization questions, just anything really web or digital marketing related we cover in there. And if I don't know the answer, I'll be honest with you and tell you. And it may be something that I look up and get back to you on as well. And then once a month, the end of the month, we do an hour mastermind with a couple other solopreneur groups that other people I know run. And then we also do a master class at the end of the month as well. So that's this week for this month. And the master class this month is going to be on creating your brand profile with using ChatGPT, saving it, and then how do you use that to help create better social media posts, to help write better emails, to, how do you use it once you have it? So that's what we're covering this month. And I usually open it up to the members and say, hey, what do you want me to talk about for the masterclass for the month? And that's what they said this month. So that's what we'll be covering. So that's Ask Dotty. It's $39 a month, and you get recordings up the wazoo from things that we've done in the past as well.
That's a brilliant kind of membership for us low tech people that just need to ask questions, and we're doing everything on our own. So thank you. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that model that you created.
If you want to join that, email me. I currently have my website cut off from being able to take online reservations, we'll call it that, because of credit card fraud. So that's a whole nother story. So to stop it, I cut it off. So as far as registering online, but if you're interested, just shoot me an email.
Okay, I was going to say, can you put your contact information, and also could you verbalize your email for the recording?
Yes, for this one, I'll just say it's Dotty, Dotty, at askdotty.com.
Thank you. And I'll type it in for you guys. Oh, you did it first. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so take this in little chunks. You guys do your homework, beef up your profile, do a few things and see how that feels, and click on the above link and get that prompt every week. I love that idea. If you feel overwhelmed with doing it all at once, she'll remind you until you have it all done. I really am going to work on this week. It'll be great. Any last questions? Any last burning questions? Okay. Dotty, thank you so much for
You
this
are
info.
welcome.
If you guys are watching the replay, awesome. You have Dottie's contact information under the video link, right? So just come on down. I've got it all down there. But if you also want a more warm introduction by email, let me know. And yeah, this was awesome. Thank you.
Everybody go out and have a productive day.